Hello everyone, my name is Bagus Setyawan from Management. I will present English for general purpose Module 7. And the first is travel regulation. 2. Respect for cultural diversity and cultural rights. 3. Respect for cultural diversity and cultural rights of each person. 4. Grammar discussion. 1. Travel regulation. The following in one of the last examples of flight regulation for Java Bali in outside Java Bali during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2021. Based on the decree of the Ministry of Transportation number 93 of 2021 during the implementation of PPKM level 1 until 4 Java Bali and outside Java Bali starting October 28, 2021 until a later determined times. Travel from or to cities in Java and Bali. Intra-Java Bali. Must take a COVID-19 vaccination card or certificate of a less one dose and PCR test result whose sample are taken of maximum of 3 by 24 hours before the flight. Traveler from or to cities outside Java and Bali must attach a COVID-19 vaccination card or certificate of at least one dose as well as rapid antigen. Test result whose sample were taken of maximum of 1 by 24 or before the flight of or PCR test result whose samples were taken of maximum of 3 by 24 hours before the flight. Children under the age of 12 are allowed to board the plane, accompanied by their parents or family as evidenced by a family card and fulfill the COVID-19 test requirements according to the rules of the departure and destination airports. The flight conditions on this page are updated based on the rules for traveling from or to the destination according to the PPKM conditions at that destination level 1, 2, 3, or 4. Regarding the circulation of information is various media that Peduli Lindungi is no longer a condition for flying or Peduli Lindungi will be integrated in several applications starting October 2021. We will continue to monitor the development of conditions and this page will be updated if there are updates. Please continue to monitor this page for the latest information. Make sure you have read and meet all the flight requirements to be allowed to fly. Also find out the most frequently asked questions regarding flight condition and their answer on the FAQ page below. 2. Respect for cultural diversity and cultural rights. Universal Declaration on Cultural Diversity, adopted by the General Conference of the United Nations. Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization at its 31st session on 2 November 2021. On November 2001, the General Conference committed to the full implementation of the human rights and fundamental freedoms proclaimed in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and other universally recognized legal instruments such as the two international conferences 1966 relating respectively to civil and political rights and to economic, social, and cultural rights. Calling that's the preamble to the Constitution of UNESCO affirms that the wide diffusion of culture and the education of humanity for justice and liberty and peace are indispensable to the dignity of man and constitute a scary duty which all the national must fulfill in a spirit of mutual assistance and concerns. Further recalling Article 1 of the Constitution, which assigns to UNESCO, among other purposes, that of recommending such international agreement as may be necessary to promote the free flow of ideals by word and image. Nothing that culture is at the heart of contemporary debates about identity, social cohesions, and the development of a knowledge-based economy, aspiring to greater solidarity on the basis of recognition of cultural diversity, of awareness of the unity of humankind, and the development of intercultural exchange. Considering that the process of globalization facilitated by the rapid development of the information and communication technologies, thus presenting a challenge for cultural diversity. That's the condition for renewed dialogue among cultural and civilization. 3. Respect for cultural diversity and cultural rights of each person. Individual rights and respect for all cultures. How can individual rights be recognized while respecting the cultural sensibilities of different human groups? For the American anthropologist Melville J. Hershkovich, 1895 until 1963. This is the main difficulty facing the formulation of a World Declaration of Human Rights. He elaborates on this dilemma in this excerpt from the text entitled Statement on Human Rights, which the sent to UNESCO in 1947 in response to UNESCO's survey on the philosophical foundation of human rights. The problem faced by the Commissions of Human Rights of the United Nations is preparing its declaration on the rights of man must be approached from 2 points of view. The first, in terms of which the declaration is ordinarily conceived, concern the respect for the personality of the individual as such, and his right to its fullest development as a member of his society in a world order. However, respect for the cultures of differing human groups is equally important. These are two facets of the same problem. Since it is a touch that groups are composed of individuals, and human beings do not function outside the societies of which they form a part. The problem is thus to formulate a statement of human rights that will do more. That just respect for the individual as an individual. It must also take into full account the individual as a member of the social group of which he is a part, whose sanction modes of life shape his behaviors, and with whose fate his own is thus inextricably bound. 4. grammar discussion. 1. Asking, menanyakan. Example sentence. I asking at you why you said. 2. Developing, berkembang. Example sentence. We develop plants cultivation. 3. Coming, datang. Example sentence. We come home earlier tomorrow. 4. Go, when, gone, going, pergi. Example sentence. She's going to rent the car to work today. 5. Paying, membayar. Example sentence. He is paid by the hour. 6. Drawing, menggambarkan. Example sentence. She's drew a beautiful pictures in a book. 7. Eating, makan. Example sentence. Where did you eat dinner tonight? 8. Swimming, berenang. Example sentence. In the morning, we will swim in our pool. 9. Leaving, meninggalkan. Example sentence. She left in a hurry. 10. Putting, meletakkan. Example sentence. They put their glass on the table. Thank you for this presentation and